This is gonna change your life.
It's a completely different food.
Raw milk, everybody. I feel very passionate about this. Tell them about it, Abby.
Yeah, we're literally at a small, tiny farm, and you can see the cows everywhere that this came from.
This is not homogenized. That means they don't mix it all together. I don't know how they make
so much
milk
healthier
and cream stay not mixed. I want you to know how I was indoctrinated. So one of my friends, he took our gallons of milk, because we have 8 kids in my family, and Abby's the 9th. So honorary sister, friend sister, you can use that. Okay, so he took our milks and he said, I'm gonna buy you guys gallons of milk, fresh milk, live with the natural enzymes for digestion in it. He poured out our gallons of milk in the sink, and we went and got like 48 gallons of milk. So I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
But that was my indoctrination initiation, and now I'm a happy camper. How'd you like it?
I love raw milk. I started drinking raw milk when I knew people who had animals. So like when I was a kid, but I didn't really know the difference till
She's so
recently.
She's so pretty.
Getting into health food, just, it really does a lot for you.
How beautiful you are.
Aww.
I'm serious. I just keep thinking like, Abby's so pretty. I'm sorry. Okay, but how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel really good. And I discovered it following people who are super into health food, like how great it is for you. And it's the closest you can get it to nature. So if you are going to drink milk, which there is a debate about if you should be drinking it, but if you do drink it, you should definitely get it raw. They like the reason they pasteurize it is for safety and all this, because it could have bacteria, but you always hear milk spoiling, that having bacteria.
You're more likeliness of getting sick off of grocery store lettuce than a gallon of raw milk. But is anybody scaring you away from grocery store lettuce? No, they're not.
No, they're not. Hi!
We're promoting raw milk over here, making our little video, telling people how they need to have it.
We think this. Are you the owners here? You want to talk about the benefits of raw milk? Look at it, they just look, and they know Christ. I love it.
Okay, it was one of my BFFs, and she just came through town, and then I told her about the raw milk place. Your name?
Mark Robinson.
Mark Robinson. You can live on raw milk, is that right?
Yes. Straight raw milk is loaded with nutritional density. Humans could live on that as their only source of nutrition. Just everything is in that product. Essential fatty acids, the amino proteins, the good bacteria that our body needs, the vitamins.
Whoa, really? That was a great elevator pitch. Camille switched me places, so now I'm with the owners of Marlees Creamery. Are those the cows right there that made this milk?
We're now allowing the calf to nurse on her so that it can get colostrum and necessary
It's so crazy that this milk can make a little calf go from that to like a real cow. That's it's just what I need.
But it doesn't make people fat. Really?
The good fats are actually help our metabolism so that we can be at our normal weight. So,
and that's the essential fatty acids I'm referencing. They make up hormones, they make up the membranes of our cell, they make up the central nervous system so that we can communicate from here, clear out to here.
Whoa.
What? You need to be on this.
This is so cool. Wait, so what happens whenever you buy like a normal gallon of milk? What do they do to that milk to make it not like this milk?
They'll pull the cream off of it. They take that cream now and they make butter, cheeses, ice cream, yogurts, things like that. That is now considered the premium product of dairy that they put a much higher price on. What's left is the fluid milk that you and I have available in the grocery store. They've already pulled that fat off. Where our milk will typically test of those essential fatty acids, that good fat, pull up in the neighborhood of 20 to 30%. When you buy milk at the store as whole milk, by law it must be 4.6 or more in fat. So they've pulled a lot of that out. Then they'll go in and they'll pasteurize it, which kills that milk, so to speak. That's how a lot of people refer to it. They denature the proteins. They literally kill the good flora, but then they'll fortify it with vitamins and things like that.
Synthetic.
And most of the time, the question should be, well, where did this come from? As Lisa's alluded to, synthetic. They'll add that into it. Started homogenizing milk because the cream was separating on the store shelf, and consumers were backing away from that a little bit. What the industry did is they came up with homogenization. What homogenization does is put the milk under a tremendous amount of pressure, causing the water and fat molecules to not separate. It forms a bond. Our gut struggles to break that bond that has been established artificially through the use of pressure. What that can do is set up inflammatory bowel. Now, some people might say, what's 20 pounds of pressure? No, we're talking 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of pressure that milk is put under to cause that water and fat to bond in such a way that it won't separate out and form that beautiful cream line.
Literally, before we were just like trying to talk about homogenization, as I did not know what I was talking about. I know it means it mixes, and I was like, how do they mix it all? I don't know. And then here we are, the teacher telling us how it works.
It's also interesting because if you go to like Starbucks, they're like, can I get a 0 fat, this skinny latte? And almost always that person is overweight and they're thinking they're being healthy.
Right.
Whereas super fit people on a keto diet eat super high fat.
There's been an illusion created. In healthcare, we're told to reduce fats, but they don't distinguish those fats. It's just marketed as reduced fat here, reduced fat in this, reduced fat in our bodies need fat. These essential fatty acids already referenced to, they make up hormones. Hormones are key. Thyroid, pituitary, adrenal. Essential is the key word. The only way we can get it is to consume it and digest it. Thus essential. Our body can't produce it. There are essential amino acids, but then there are non-essential fatty acids, amino acids, that make up the DNA chain. That protein also makes up the immunoglobulins. It's the first initial response to an immune problem. It targets that invader.
Okay, so they said doctors used to prescribe raw milk.
Yes.
Why would they do that? Just goes to repairing your body, basically?
Nutritionally so dense, we can live on it by itself.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wonderful source
It's
of
amazing.
food, and you know, there's like anything. Not everyone's going to love the taste of it.
Another thing, forever people have been drinking it. Other thing you were telling me is that you have better levels of bad stuff out of the milk than store-bought.
We were required to allow, at their discretion, the state milk board and the health department to come in and test finished product. We consistently showed in their testing at their labs a lower bacteria count than what you are required on pasteurized milk.
And they said you couldn't get it that low at some level. They're like, it's impossible. And then he's like, look at it. How long do you think we can get raw milk illegal in Missouri? I heard we had it in the state last year. Did they run it out, run the session
No.
out?
As we have worked legislatively to try to get some law changes in the state of Missouri for raw milk. So raw milk is legal in the state of Missouri to be bought.
Like at the grocery store.
Okay, at the grocery store, there's where we run into conflict. Law is still on the books. Where our legislators didn't do us justice is to amend the FDA food code to current Missouri law. And as a result, we have two laws on the books. One that says yes, one that says no. The health department and the state milk board choose to, at their discretion, apply the one that they want to apply. And what I have learned through my education process, as well as seen clinically in practice, as well as an educator holding a teaching certificate with the psychology training behind it, a belief dictates behavior. And if you follow the stigma that raw milk is bad, can't be produced safely, it's a justifiable stigma. When you go back to when raw milk was first introduced, people were getting sick, but we didn't have the improvements of refrigeration, procedures on how to properly handle the cow and the cow's health, and how to handle the milking process. Stainless steel was a major improvement in the dairy industry. Sanitation, as we bottle the product. But those things improve. Even the things that we use to sanitize and to clean is doing a better job. What the health department has done is manipulating the laws to their belief in the state of Missouri. Herd shares, how that works is you buy a share of a cow as if you were buying stock in the farm.
wow.
Play on words there. Stock, dairy stock, so to speak. That cow, livestock. Now you own that cow, and you own that cow. Now you're entitled to what she produces because you own her.
I also wanted to jump back into like the corruption of like not just this industry of what they're trying to do to humans in general, because my sister just had a baby and it's like almost like it's being promoted for formula over like breast milk, and it's almost like the same thing with dairy industry because it's like they're pushing a product that human bodies can't recognize. It's not what our ancestors ate. It's like a completely new product, and so I really love that, you know, when people are promoting whole foods that God made. And
I so urge mamas and daddies to look at those containers of the ingredients that are on there.
oh, awful.
And they are just
Seed oils, even.
yes, just horrible.
Inflammatory.
ingredients.
What do you think about raw milk for babies? I'm
So
interested.
when our our second granddaughter was born, there were some things that required her to be given a bottle, and so we went to the Weston A. Price organization, and we utilized their recipe for the raw milk. We had to tweak it just a little bit for her. There were a couple of things that we had to change just for our granddaughter, but she literally thrived on that milk. And it's not full milk, like there's other ingredients in there, but Weston A. Price has all of that, exactly how to do it. It's very scientifically put together, and it's a beautiful, beautiful food for those that cannot be breastfed for a period of time.
Corporations can't profit off of moms, just like they can't profit off of small farms. And so,
Not much.
like even with like formula, I heard that they were going into like inner cities and things where, you know, women are already struggling to make ends meet, and they literally have a free food source for their babies, and they were giving for free enough formula to make the moms stop producing milk, and then making them buy this expensive formula. It's just so corrupt. So
As
I
a
really support you guys. So cool.
As a practicing physician in the state of Missouri, I'm going to give you some food for thought. Food for thought. Is breast milk pasteurized? The safety of breast milk is dependent on the mama and how she handles the milk and the deliverance to her child.
We've got to get back to feeding our bodies whole food.
People were drinking raw milk for all of history, right? It's just right from the cow. I didn't know what raw milk even meant before. It just was like, just milk the cow. It's fresh. Basically fresh milk right from the cow. Not pasteurized, not pressurized. I didn't know what homogenized meant. Not pasteurized, which is boiled basically until you kill everything in it, right? So not dead milk, but alive milk, raw milk, living milk, you could call it, you know, with the good enzymes for digestion, good bacteria. And then they work to make sure there's no bad bacteria.
But do you know you have to find that data, that information, way back before Louis Pasteur, who came up with, thus the name, pasteurization. In today's world, there are more people being exposed to listeria, which is a concern for raw milk, in romaine lettuce as we speak right now, than the cases of raw milk.
The key is to find a good farm.
The key is to find a good farm and how the milk is handled not only at the farm, but at home, or when you pick up and take it home.
True, good point. I didn't think about the consumer's responsibility.
And now we'll apply that over the whole food industry.
True. As a fact, yeah. Because people are like in their fridge, stuff is rotten. You know the life cycle of food, so you know, oh, it's been this much time, I threw this out. And you need to know how to treat raw milk.
The neat thing though is if raw milk has not ever been contaminated in any shape or form, it will start to clabber. It tastes sour. You've had sour milk. The neat thing with raw milk is it's not rotten. Pasteurized milk is rotten.
Yeah, I've noticed I have raw milk and it lasted like a long time, like even beyond it. And you can turn it into different things, I feel like, right?
But starts to clobber, it actually has more good bacteria. Some people purposely allow it to do that, and it gives some of those health benefits. A lot of people do not like the taste of that, and they think it's rotten, but it actually can be still used in cooking and baking or whatever.
Actually, the process of cottage cheese, yogurts, you're just in a early stage of that development of a finished product.
Actually been tests done with pasteurized milk and raw milk set out on the counter, and the pasteurized milk is rotten. It's literally rotten, where the other is not. So.
How long have you guys been drinking raw milk?
All of my life. I didn't come from a dairy farm. My father was a Methodist pastor, but they would try to provide milk for us 6 boys as a raw product, knowing the health potentials of it. We have actually been bottling our milk and selling farm to table since 2009.
Well, me and Camille were just gonna give you guys some very light information that we ourselves knew, our limited information. I'm really happy the owners came upon this video because now you guys really know the history of raw milk and how it's good for you. And
Marlees Creamery.
Come to Marlees
Carthage,
Creamery.
Missouri.
Come to Marlees Creamery. We're big fans.
Our
We got 4
website,
gallons today.
MarleesCreameryFarm.com.
Oh, wonderful. I am so thankful. When I'm in
Also
town,
on
I try to stop in and get some milk often.
Go like them on Facebook.
Thank you so much for your wonderful information, taking the time to help us out and the world. Yay! Milk for the win and running for Peace for Orphans. Yay, thank you guys so much.
Yes.
God bless. Woo! Love you. Well, goodbye, everybody.
I know.